This is Dr. JERLIN Rajan, Assistant Professor, Karnia School of Management. I welcome you all in this online learning portal to learn managerial economics. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about subject matter of economics, economy and its systems, and fundamental problems of an economy being faced by all over the world. So first one, the subject matter of economics. The subject economics has two branches. One is microeconomics, another one is macroeconomics. So under microeconomics, we will study product pricing, factor pricing, and welfare economics. Under product pricing, we will study theory of demand and consumer behavior, theory of supply and producer behavior. Under factor pricing, we will study the different factors of production: land, labor, capital, organization. So that is wages, rent, interest, profit. For the labor, we are giving the wages. For the land, we are collecting the rent or we are giving the rent. For the capital deposited in the bank, we are getting some interest. Or the capital borrowing from the bank, we are paying certain percentage interest. And profit from the organization, that is one of the factors of productions, we are getting the profit. So we are studying the factor pricing and the factors of production. The factors of production is otherwise called agents of production because it is helping in the production of goods and services, converting the raw materials into finished goods. And finally, it is an welfare economics, how the income is distributed to create the welfare in the society. Under macroeconomics, we will study about theory of national income and employment, theory of pricing strategies, theory of economic growth, and theory of distribution of national income. We shall discuss one by one. So what is microeconomics? Microeconomical word, it is derived from the Greek literature that is micros, which means the millionth part of a system. It's a small part of a system. That means we will study the economical variables in the individual units. For example, studying about the per capita income, demand of a firm, demand of a commodity, equilibrium of a firm, equilibrium of a person. When we study the economical variables in individual unit, it will come under the microeconomical study. Then what is macroeconomics? Macroeconomics, the word macro is derived from the Greek word macros, which means large. We will study the economic variables in the aggregate level. So here we will study the aggregate demand, aggregate supply, aggregate production, and aggregate consumption. So when we study the economical variable in the aggregate level, this study will come under the macroeconomical study. Now, we are going to deal with economy and its system. So you might have learned from the schooling itself the different economical system: capitalist economy, socialist economy, and mixed economy. We are going to study one by one today. So that is capitalist economy. Capitalist economy is otherwise called market economy. What is capitalist economy? So the factors of production, land, labor, capital, organization, collectively owned by the capitalist. The factors of production owned by the capitalist, and they will take the decision what to produce, for whom to produce, and how to produce. These decisions will be taken by the capitalist. Then what are the characteristics of the capitalist? So, right of the private property. They are having the right to own the private property. No government interventions will be taken place in the capitalist economy. And there's a free hand to the market forces, two forces, supply and demand. So they are having the free hand. They will control the market forces, free choice in the production and consumption. So they will decide what to produce. And they will also decide what should be consumed by the people in the economy. And non-existence of the public sector. Therefore, there is no any intervention from the government. So what are the merits and demerits of capitalist economy? let us discuss one by one the merits of capitalist economy. Like a meritocratic society, only the people very good, talented, hardworking, skillful will be able to produce more profit in this economy. Other people, not so much. And the next merit is it register the high level of economic growth. Then what are the demerits associated with the capitalist economy? The first demerit is capitalist motive is to increase production and profit maximization. So they exploit the labor class by reducing their wages or making them to work for long hours. So exploitation of the labor class by the ruling class, that is one of the demerits. And the second one is it leads to permanent or perpetuation of the poverty. Poor people in the capitalist society who are seen as lesser opportunities to become richer. Only the rich people tend to become richer. So the gap between rich people and the poor people will continue to rise since there is no any government interventions and there is no any scope for social welfare because there is no any government sectors. So there is no government hospitals, there is no government buses, there is no any government schools. Everything is owned by the private, the capitalists. So the poor people from the capitalist economy will not be able to afford services from these capitalist institutions. So these are the greatest demerits of the capitalist economy. Second one is socialist economy. So what is socialist economy? So the means of production, land, labor, capital, organizations, everything is collectively owned by the state. So the state will decide what to produce, for whom to produce, and how to produce. So there is no any capitalist interventions. So what are the characteristics of the socialist economy? First one is the collective property. So all the factors of productions collectively owned by the state and it is a kind of planned economy. So the concept of 5-year plan, 10-year plans, and each 5-year plans carries some importance to the agricultural sectors or the industrialization or the digitalizations. So they will give importance to different sectors to improve the GDP and to bring development in the economy. So it is a kind of planned economy. And next one is restriction on the market forces. So there is a huge restrictions in the market forces. People cannot buy and produce whatever they want. So the government should decide what people should buy. So the government will produce and it will distribute for the welfare of the people. So there is a huge restrictions in the market forces. It is controlled by the government. And what are the merits and demerits of socialism? Merits of socialist economy. First one is exploitation of the labor class entirely removed since it is owned by the state. And second one is social welfare. Upliftment of the deprived sections will be taken place. And then demerits. Since it is concentrated by the central government, so there is a chance for the corruption. Since it is care of every individual, this kind of economy will register no growth. There will not be any economical growth. And finally, since everyone is treated equally, the skills and talented of the people will not be appreciated and there is no incentives, there is no any innovations and creativity will be taken place for the further growth. So these are the merits and demerits of the socialism. Now the next one is mixed economy. So for example, we can say mixed economy. Indian economy is a mixed economical system. Sweden, France, Ireland, Japan, they are following the mixed economical system. So we have the mixture. So we have the capitalism on one side and the socialism on the other side. So what are the characteristics of mixed economy? That is compromise between capitalism and socialism. So what does it mean? The compromise between capitalism and socialism, which means It takes the merits of capitalism and combines with the merits of socialism and taking the step to remove the demerits of both. So, of course, in India, we are having the mixed economical system. We can see some features, the same features here in this mixed economical compromise between capitalism and the socialism. And the second one is coexistence of the public sectors and the private sectors. So that is in the telecom, we have BSNL as well as Vodafone, some other private sectors. And in civil aviations, we are having Air India and other Jet Airways, some other private sectors we are having. And there will not be any government interventions in the mixed economy. Government will intervene only in the critical situations in the pricing strategies that is called MSP, minimum support price. That means in the beginning of each harvest seasons, the price of the wheat is rupees 1500 per quintal. If the farmer is unable to sell the wheat in the given price level, government promises to buy the wheat from the farmers for rupees 1500 per quintal. So it is the way of helping the farmers to produce more and more. And finally, it ensures economic growth and development of nations. So government gives free hand to the private sectors to start industries for the economical development. So this is what mixed economy. So socialism as well as capitalist economy jointly contributing to the gross domestic product and bringing out the economical growth and development. So we can ask some questions then. What is communism and what is socialism? So for example, socialism, the principles of socialism is if you have two cows, you should give one cow to your neighbor. That is the principles of socialism. Then what is the communism? If you have two cows, government will take the both and gives you the milk. So this is what the simplest concept of socialism and communism. So I hope you might understood about capitalist economy and its merits and demerits, socialist economy and mixed economy and their merits and demerits. We shall discuss about central problems of economics. So what is the fundamental economic problems? So the problem of allocation of the resources, the problem of fuller utilization of the resources, the problem of growth of the resources. So what is the problem of allocation of the resources? So really the government is struggling a lot to distribute equally. There is no any equilibrium distributions happened by the government. The government is taking this step to distribute the resources. For example, precious metals, coal, gas. Really the government is struggling to distribute equally. The problem of allocation of the resources. And the second one is the problem of fuller utilization of the resources. We are not utilizing the resources in the optimum manner, even though it is available. So it is called untapped resources. Untapped means inefficient uses of the resources. So, for example, take the rainwater. How we are using the rainwater? We are not using the rainwater in the optimum level, right? It is being wasted. So, the problem of fuller utilization of the resources. And the final problem is the problem of growth of the resources. In case of resources, example, coal, petroleum, gas, we cannot make them to grow. But in case of other resources such as capital, human resources, if we use them effectively, we could see some growth in that. So this is what the problem of growth of the resources. And we are having the limited resources. Human wants are unlimited. How we are using these limited resources to satisfy the human wants. So for whom to produce, what to produce, and how to distribute. So these are the fundamental economical problems being faced by all over the world. And how we are allocating the factors of production, land, labor, capital, and even organizations to eradicate the economical problems. So this is what all about today's lecture. Thank you.